Hi, everybody. As part of my 30-day Raise Your Vibration challenge, I offered to answer questions for people. And one of the first people to take me up on my offer is Rosi. And thank you so much, Rosi, for your question and being the first person to respond. So Rosie's question was, I am currently struggling with health, severe imbalances in hormones that has brought on so many other ailments. She names a couple and has made me incapable of completing my work at my job. Why is this happening to me? And she says, I've always made a huge effort to lead a healthy life in this last decade. And this is a very, very good question, Rosie. And my answer is that mind and body are always connected. And usually, when the mind is overloaded, it starts to manifest ailments in the body as a sign to make us aware that something is not right, or something needs to change in your life, or that something is happening that is not in your best interest. So, could it maybe be that you have a lot going on in your life? Maybe a lot of stress, or maybe a lot of important decisions that you need to make, or maybe you are unhappy in your job or your relationships, friends, maybe something like that. This can also happen when you don't live your life in accordance to your design. So to further answer your question, I went and dove into your design, and I want to share some of the things that I found with you. So first off, you are a manifesting generator, and that means that you have various passions and are meant to do many varied things in one lifetime. However, we live in a world that tells you that in order to be happy or successful, you have to choose one lane and stay within it, which just isn't true for you. I should know because I'm one too. And everything that sparks a passion inside you is trying to get you to follow it. And if you do that, then it leads you right to everything that you desire. So your challenge is to defy what society tells you about how to become happy and successful, and to show us a new way of doing it. The manifesting generator's gift to the world is to break us out of the boxes that we live our lives in and expand our perspective on what's possible. This also means that your path is not linear, so it cannot be understood before it unfolds. Whenever you feel hesitant or afraid of this unknown, realize that this afraidness only comes because you were conditioned to think that the known is better, is safer, is more of a sure thing. But the real sure thing is that you will always get the most fulfilling result when you choose your inside passion over the limited how-tos from the outside world. It's almost like the universe implanted your own how-to inside you. And at a soul level, you actually love the unknown because that's what makes life feel like an adventure that surprises and delights you as you live it. Think about it. Why would you come here if you already knew exactly how it was going to pan out? And when you start to love the way of doing life yourself, you show everyone else that this is the way that we are all craving to live life. You just have to be stronger than any of us and willing to be stronger than the voices that try to keep you in the old way. You are here to have more faith in what you could be than what already is. This means that you need to do the things that you actually want to do. Your passions and desires are signposts showing you what the universe wants you to put your attention and energy into. Your wants are not random, and following them is the highest service that you can do to the world. When you do something that excites you, big or small, you get given more energy so you can keep doing that thing. That's the universe's way of saying it wants you to carry on doing that thing. So, Rosie, give yourself the permission to have the most unrealistic, good, full life, because that is what you came here to show us. You also have the personality of the 6-2, the exemplary human. And the first number, the 6, describes the way that you see yourself. And the second number, the 2, is the way that others sees you. And it serves us to have our own internal world that's not so obvious to others, and an external side of us for the physical world. So I want to dive into each one of these and talk a little bit about them, and then see how they come together to form your full personality. So the 6 is the path of the wise sage. And the sage is someone who is born with innate wisdom. You came into this world already wise to live. But for your first 30 years, your connection to your inner wisdom takes a back seat as you try to establish yourself, your goals, and your direction in life. You experiment with putting your energy into lots of different places, peoples, and opportunities, and this is an important process. But as you come to the end of your 20s, you usually want to be more selective about what you put your energy into, because you know that you will reap what you sow. You will reap the rewards that you want, but also what you don't want. So you want to become more selective. And that means that you start to want to make things feel a little bit more peaceful and settled for yourself. Keeping all the good parts of life that you acquired and getting rid of the rest is now just noise to you that pulls you out of yourself. It's usually at this time in your life that you realize, wow, I actually am really wise and intuitive, and I don't need to look outside of myself so much as I used to. Maybe you are denying this part of yourself to come out. I don't know where you are on your path, but the path of the sage is about not getting caught up in the external and coming back to your relationship with yourself and relying on that source of wisdom from within rather than give your power or validation to others. The journey of the sage is that others are meant to see you as a role model, but you must first be the person that you see yourself, be that role model, see yourself as a role model in order for that to actually happen. You will always feel insecure when you're placing too much focus on what others are doing and thinking. And when you feel settled in yourself and tune out the noise, that is when you will reestablish that connection to your natural wisdom. This wisdom is helpful, of course, for your own life, but it's also imperative for the way that you will be guiding, sharing, and showing up for others. As long as you create time and space to hear what you already know, you will always be seen as someone who others look up for guidance and wisdom. Being a 6 myself, I also suffered from lots of physical complaints because I was not fully embracing my personality and I was not fully embracing my path. So there could be something in here for you as well. And your second number is then the 2. That's the number of the natural. And that means that you come across as a natural, which means that there are certain things you seem to be effortlessly good at without really knowing how you came to be good at those things, or being able to describe to other people how you do it. There's a pressure in this world to validate or explain how you are qualified to do those things, but don't bend to that pressure. In fact, the more people like you are honest about it coming easy to you, the more we'll all realize we don't need to earn things as much as our society has told us. Coming into your genius is not about learning from the outside world. It's already in you without you really knowing how it got there. When you're doing these things, you slip into this zone where your gifts just seem to come out of you. There is an unaware quality in doing what you do, almost as if it happens without you consciously making it happen. It's in this way, doing your gifts is quite an unconscious process, and it takes care of itself as long as you've created the time and the space where getting into this zone is possible. However, since it's an unaware process, it's usually easier for others to spot your genius than it is for you. So naturals tend to require feedback from the outside world to figure out what they are really good at. And when the 6 and the 2 come together, then that's all about becoming the kind of adult that your child self would have wished existed. You were born to become your dream human being instead of needing anyone else to be. As a child, you were already an authority and super wise. You have naturally high standards, big goals, and beautiful ideals. You stand above trivial things and have a gifted ability to just handle things. These all make you the perfect person to be an exemplary human. You like to focus on depth and meaning, and when you own that, you get aligned. So don't let the trivial and the irrelevant sides of life bog you down or waste any time judging them. Being a 6-2 is about focusing your energy on seeing how high you can go. Don't let it be wasted on where you think others are falling short. This will only bring you into your not self theme of frustration. Remember, this life is about really and fully shining and being extraordinary in yourself. Not compared to anything else around you, but compared to your inner ideals. Then you also have the 46th gift, and this gift is about learning to love your physical self. And frankly, the sheer incomprehensible awe of having a physical body. So let me ask you, do you love your body? Do you love the way you look? Do you love your health? Can you love yourself and your health despite the issues that you're facing? I'm asking because you came here to fall in love with being a soul that got gifted this huge blessing. How you learn to love your body is not just in the obvious love yourself or embrace yourself kind of way, but also really understanding it and appreciating it for its power, for what it can actually do. You can't think your way into loving your body. You have to put it in motion so you can really feel in touch with the power of it. It's through your physical body that you can actually manifest things on this planet. And it's thanks to the physical body that you feel, that you experience, that you touch, and that you change lives, that you hug, and how you do all of these things. Usually you don't start life feeling this love because of all the societal conditioning around it. And so you have to go on this journey to master what loving your body really and truly means. And then when you do it for yourself, then you can help others master it for themselves. You are really good at helping other people feel in touch with their physical self. But often in the growth and personal development world, the focus is on the mind and the spirit. But we have mind, spirit, and body. And when we don't include the body in that equation, we are limiting our capabilities. Tapping into and sharing it is super powerful because you're really helping people get back a whole lot of what their power is. And so I shared a little bit about it already, but your not self theme is frustration. And your not self is the feeling that you get when you're not living your design. Life gives you this feeling so that you can always tell or spot or see when you're getting off track, so that you can redirect quickly back to using your energy the way it was meant to be. And I'm sensing a lot of frustration around your health and your physical ailments. So this tells you that you are off track and that you're not living your design. Because if you're living your design, saying yes to the things that light you up and no to the things that don't, you create a steady flow of excitement in your life, which then magnetizes people and opportunities to you. The opposite of energy flowing is energy stagnating. And this creates a feeling of being stuck and not being able to move forward, even if you try. And this is actually the true definition of frustration: attempting or reaching for something that is not happening. Frustration can show up as literal frustration, irritation, feeling stuck, feeling uninspired, blah, or just incapable. And this is always a sign showing you that you have the power to change your situation by changing one of your thoughts or behaviors around this situation. So I also want to talk a little bit about how frustration can look in your thoughts. Things that you can be thinking are: nothing is happening. This is not going the way I want. I'm so bored. I'm so over this. I'm being made or forced to do this, but I don't want to. I have all these obligations and they are starting to weigh heavy on me. I want to shake them off and be free. I feel like I'm having the life sucked out of me. I'm being pulled in all these different directions. It seems like everybody else is doing what they love, but nothing is coming to me, or I can't seem to do that. I should be able to create happiness, but I just can't. I have no energy to do what I dream of. What's the point of all of this? Why does it feel like walking through mud and taking so much effort to get things going? Or I'm so tired. Do you recognize any of these things, Rosie? Lastly, I also want to share that your life theme, your purpose, is called the left angle cross of healing. And every human lifetime has a different theme, and your life theme describes the main energy you're meant to bring into everything you do. And it's called a theme because it's meant to run through all the areas of your life. The same mix of skills and essence will bring you success and alignment, whether you're at home or with your friends or at work or in the grocery store. And when you live according to your life theme, that's when you know that you're on the road to your purpose. So, as far as the universe is concerned, your purpose is not just achieved at work. The universe doesn't compartmentalize like that. It wants to see you sharing your specific essence everywhere you go. When you bring your essence to the table, you signal the universe and the people around that you're being who you're meant to be. This is when people gravitate towards you the most, when opportunities and synchronicities flood to you, because you're simply being the person you came here to be. So all the good things that are meant for you finally fit. You came here to discover that the secret to any healing or evolving is becoming the most loving person you can be. And not loving as in all love and light. Those are concepts that live in the mind. You are here to do love as a verb, not as a noun. That means that just practicing life with a bit more of an open heart as you had yesterday. You will begin to see that you can set the tone of any interaction or turn the vibe of any situation around by just keeping an open heart and not closing down or off. Others will rise to meet you there, but your open heart will be the spark that sets others off in the same direction. So whatever you do it with sincerity, with tenderness, and with openness. And ironically, when you are the most loving towards others is when you will love who you are the most, because you show yourself in real time what a wonderful person you're capable of being. So another question that pops up is, do you love yourself? Do you really, really love your authentic, true self deep down inside? This could also be the reason for your health issues and for the things that you're experiencing. I hope that this video was valuable to you, and I hope that I got to give you some insights into why you are experiencing the things that you're experiencing. And if you'd like to dive in deeper, then just reach out to me. We can always book a session around this, or we have other options of diving into this more. And if you were watching this and you followed along and you think, I also have a question I'd love to have an answer to, then also just reach out to me. I'll make sure that the link is below this video, and I'll do my best to answer your question as well as I did for Rosie. Rosie, thank you so much for your question, for being brave enough to ask it, to pose it. And again, I really hope that this video gave you some insight into your question. But if not, or if you have any more questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. For right now, have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you next time.